Chapter 10. And it was. Emma had created a large sculpture of a beautiful woman with wild flowing hair. Astra took another look and blinked. Well, it was a beautiful woman from the waist up. From the waist down was a completely different story. It was some sort of odd creature. "Wow," said Astra. "I really like your sculpture." "It's a mermaid," explained Emma. "I've been working on it for months, whenever I could find the time. I was hoping to have it done for the art show tomorrow." She shook her head. "But I never had time to finish." Libby stepped up. "It's gorgeous," she said. "This is my friend Libby," Astra explained, "from my old school." "You're really talented," Libby said, studying the sculpture. "Thank you," said Emma. "What is it made out of?" Astra asked. Emma's eyes were shining. "It's this special sand clay I made. The theme of the art show is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And I remembered all the fun summers we had when I was little, building castles and digging in the sand. So I decided to do a sand sculpture." She paused and her shoulders sagged. "I didn't get it finished in time." "Can't you finish your sculpture tonight and submit it tomorrow for the show?" Astra asked. Emma shook her head. "No, I needed to go to the beach and gather rocks and shells and seaweed and stuff and decorate it. But with all the practices and meets, I could never get my parents to take me. I'm totally out of time. It's too late to finish it." Astra's heart sank. If only she had truly listened to her wisher, she might have been able to help her. Suddenly, she had an idea. "Hey, Emma," she said. "What if I told you we could get you exactly what you need?" Emma smirked. "I'd say you were crazy," she answered. "Go home and have dinner with your family," said Astra. "Tell them about the art show and that they need to come. We'll take care of getting the stuff you need. You can finish it in the morning and enter it in the competition." Emma looked like she was trying hard not to get excited. "You're sure? You're really sure? It sounds impossible." "I'm sure," said Astra. "But don't wait up," she added. "This could take a while." "I think you're crazy too," said Libby. "That's because you don't know my special talent," said Astra. "It's teleporting." "Oh," said Libby. "Now that's a good one to have." The question was, would she be able to take Libby along with her? The two girls held hands as Astra wished. It did not work. They stood back to back, and Astra tried again. No such luck. Astra was about to head off on her own when she had a sudden idea, inspired by her roommate. She engulfed Libby in a big hug. "I wish I was at the beach," she thought. There was a whoosh, everything grew blurry, and there was a feeling of moving fast. And suddenly, they were standing in the sand. They were surrounded by palm trees and crystal blue waters. White foam flew as the surf crashed onto the shore. They took off their shoes and dug their toes into the soft, silky sand. Astra couldn't help herself. She did a cartwheel of joy, then another. "That's a new one," said Libby. "You're going to slay us all in poses when you get back." "As usual," said Astra cheekily. She looked around, taking it all in. "It really is amazing here," she said. The girls raced to the water's edge, filling their pockets with all the treasures from the sea they could find. Tiny whelk shells, bits of green and blue sea glass, their edges softened by the tides in the sand. Driftwood weathered into interesting shapes and bleached by the sun. Libby gathered the edges of her skirt with one hand and filled the hollow with crab claws, sand dollars, and scallop shells. Astra spotted something star-shaped in the surf and thought for a moment that her eyes were deceiving her. She reached down and cradled the creature in her palm. "Have you ever seen anything lovelier?" she asked. "How startastic," said Libby. "Piper would love it," Astra said. The creature moved its legs gently in her hand. "I wish I could take it home." But she knew it needed to be returned to the sea. She waded out and gently placed the creature back in the water. Then, Astra got a sudden inspiration. She bent down and filled her arms with seaweed in all shapes and sizes, thin ribbons, wide sheets, curly bright green tendrils. They lay their treasures on the sand and began to fill Astra's backpack. The sun was sinking, its golden pink rays settling over the horizon. "It's time to go back," Astra said. "Hey!" said Libby with a laugh. "One of my shells is making a run for it." She pointed to a tiny spiral shell that was slowly sneaking away. "That was a close one," said Astra. "Let's make sure we're not taking anyone else for a ride." They carefully checked their shells, then finished packing. They hugged each other, and Astra wished that she was back at Emma's house. Luckily, no one noticed two girls magically appearing in the middle of Emma's backyard. As she walked up the stairs to Emma's room, Astra thought she would burst with excitement. She also felt hopeful, but worried too. Time was running out. This was their only chance. Emma had to convince her father to go to the show, finish her sculpture, win the prize, and make her father proud. This had to work. It just had to.